Okay.
Yes.
Do
You've asked me to sit down, and I don't even know what I'm doing here. So what are you got a
I'm going
notepad?
to ask you some questions.
You got a notepad and a pen, so it looks very important.
It is very important. I'm going
You've
to ask
told
you
me
some
I
questions.
don't need to know anything.
All right, Nick. Overall, Lorella Springs, what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, definitely 10. I loved it.
What was your 3 top highlights?
3 top highlights would definitely, number 1 would be catching a barramundi out of a little rowboat on the trawl in a billabong. My first barramundi ever that I've ever caught, and it was 78 centimetres long, and it was towing us along in a boat. How cool is that? That's an awesome memory to have.
What about your other 2?
Oh, sorry, I just stopped it there at number 1. That day as well, Teardrop Falls, that was really magical. Having the waterfall and the 2 levels of the swimming pools. It was really nice that we were up the top and we had that place to ourselves there for quite a few minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And thirdly, actually I enjoyed that little challenge of going with the Crosstrak around the whole park and actually taking it through the Cascade water crossing and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. I was a bit unsure of myself if we should do it. The van got on a bit of an angle coming through there, but it was good, and it was quite steep and it was quite sticky on the other side. But yeah, the Hilux did it really, really good.
Well, that is a good segue to my next question. It was the first time it was really off-road with the Crosstrak. So how do you think it performed overall?
It went really well. I think the car bounces around more than what the caravan does. It was some really rough corrugated roads. The van seems to sit there quite well.
Did anything break?
Not that I can see. I think we accidentally forgot to put the latch on the door, so the door was flapping, the pantry door just at the rear here. So that was flapping around, so you got to expect that if that's just going to be flapping around while you're driving, it's going to get damaged. So that's something we'll need to look at. If anything else has been damaged, I don't really know yet, because I haven't really had a good chance to hose it all down and get the mud off, because there was a fair bit of mud that we were going through. So I really haven't been able to sort of check it all over to see if anything's broken, but from what I can see, everything's good. One thing we did manage to damage on the Hilux is our CV boot is leaking. Not sure what's happened there, whether a stick's come up and hit something or what, not sure, but anyway, we'll have to take that in and get it fixed.
And what do you still want to change on the van?
What do I still want to change on the van? I think it's all pretty good. Be good to have a bigger freezer, I think, somewhere along the line. But I don't really think I would change much of the van. Like a bigger bed, we keep saying that. Is that ever going to happen? I'm not really sure. Maybe put some off-road tyres on it, some light truck tyres. There are lots of sticks and rocks getting around. It's only a matter of time before something goes through the sidewall, probably, of one of the tyres, and they're going to burst pretty easily. They are all-terrain tyres, but probably not the same quality as, you know, of light truck tyres as we've got, you know, Maxxis or something like that on the car.
What would you do differently before leaving home?
Well, we were probably a little bit underprepared due to the fact that we were pretty busy. That's everyone's excuse, isn't it? We were too busy. No, we had a wedding and everything prior, and it was hard. By the time we got home late Sunday night, we were going first thing Monday morning. Probably should have got the car checked over a little bit more. I did check the oil before we left, but that was about it. That's, you know, I'm definitely no mechanic, but you know, so far so good. I can't really see anything. It is due for a service, so that will be done when we get back to Darwin. Anything else that I would do differently? Generator would be nice as well, because it is still quite hot out here at the moment. If you're on a camp where there's nobody around, it'd be okay to run that generator for a few hours of the evening while you're trying to go to sleep, just to cool the van down. Must be getting old or something with a new bloody aircon, because it was hot. You know, there was no breeze a lot of the time, but you know, now there's a lovely breeze and it's quite cool. It's good.
Well, that was going to be my next question, is what do you wish you had but you didn't?
Well, generator. I do have a generator, but it's not here. And a little freezer would be nice. I think that will make it a bit easier. Just have a couple of pre-made meals that are frozen, so if you don't feel like cooking, you know, because we're out on the road doing 100 k's a day, so sometimes you don't feel like cooking. Jess doesn't feel like cooking.
That was my next question. Was how did you meal prep for the days away?
I didn't do anything. Well, we just write a list and say this is what we're having for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and we just put all the food together. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise you're just randomly taking bits and bobs and you don't know what you're going to do. So you pretty much got to plan it out for each day, I think, to work out what you're eating, because you don't want to take too much and you don't want to take too little. So yeah, pre-planning what you're going to eat.
And what about water? How much water did you take and how much do you think we've used?
Well, we can have 150 litres on the caravan. We've got about a 75 litre in the back of the Hilux underneath the tray. And we've got two jerry cans, two 20 litre jerry cans, so that's about 275. We're pretty good because the first night we stayed here in the homestead, they got showers, so we used their showers. We didn't use any of ours. We've been out on the road for 3 nights out in Lorella. We did pull up at hot springs and waterfalls which had fresh water, so we didn't really feel the need to sort of shower all that much. So we only just switched one of the tanks over late last night when I was having a shower out at beach camp. So that's 75 litres, and that's, you know, with washing and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I've only really used the 1 and a bit tanks, I would say. Probably not even 100 litres of water that we've used in the 4 days that we've been here.
Does that include the drinking water as well?
No, well, we had some of our own drinking water. We had those 10 litre jerry can things that you get from Woolies or Coles. In the back of the Hilux in our kitchen, we've set it up so I can sit 2 of them together so we can carry 20 litres of fresh spring water in the back of the van, and I think one of them in the back of the Canopy, and we're pretty much used both of them up now. So,
are you happy with the Canopy setup?
I am really happy with the Canopy setup. Yeah, it's got a couple of little rattles. There is a bit of dust getting in. There probably needs to be some adjustments done on the latches and handles. But anyway, when we pull up in our new place, I'll be able to get all my tools out and muck around, have a bit of space to actually sort a few little things out on the Canopy, which should be good. Tinker, yeah. That's what us men like to do.
And what do you think are the must-haves and the most used piece of equipment that you used this trip?
Well, we're pretty lucky with our battery system, I reckon. We've got a big 200 amp lithium battery with solar, big solar system on it. We didn't go down under 85%, I don't think, you know. And another little thing that I did use was I bought a little Milwaukee portable fan. That thing was, I think it was perfect. When there were too many flies on, you just stick that around right in front of your face and it blows the flies away. It's absolutely awesome because I didn't have a fly net, especially when you're cooking and stuff like that. But it did, you know, as soon as that sun went down, the breeze went away, especially when we were up near the water, and it, you know, became quite hot and still. So just having that fan, it is a bit noisy, but it's powerful and it blows a lot of air around, and it's really good. And having the battery system with an inverter, I'm able to charge those batteries up wherever and whenever I want. You know, I've got one in the Canopy and I've got one in the caravan. Really, really good. And also that little electric skillion frying pan. That was also good. You can just plug that straight into the inverter. Works really, really well, especially when it's quite windy.
Great. And last question. How are you going to clean the car and the caravan?
With a dirty big gurney, I reckon, and a high pressure hose. And then I'm going to have to take it to one of the car washes, I think. The van's going to be the hardest part, but that's just all gurney. Wash it down, get underneath, get all the mud out of all the bloody nooks and crannies that it's got into. And I've been wanting to get the car detail for a while. It's been a while since I've had that done. So I'll give it a...
Pay someone else to do it, basically.
Yeah, I'll give it a wash and then, but I want to have a good detail and polish and everything like that, and a good vacuum from the inside. It's done lots of beach strips and stuff, and there's still bits of sand getting around in it, so it's time for it to have a good clean, so I can make it dirty again.
And is there any other things that you want to say before you sign off?
No, not really. Just everything went really well on this trip. I'm really happy. The way the car went, the way the van went, everything that happened out here at Lorella, all the sites that we've been to see, really good.
Come back?
Definitely coming back, yep. Definitely coming back. We've only just scratched the surface of this place, so there's a lot more to see. And we didn't actually pull up and stop, and put our feet up for much of the trip either. It was pretty much just around in a circle we went, just touring, set up, pack up, set up, pack up, see a couple sites, but still really good, still enjoyable, still relaxing. But definitely would like to spend a couple of days at each location next time. So yeah.
Cool.
All good.
Thanks, Nick.
No worries. Thanks for asking all those questions.